Hey weirdos, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you're having an amazing start to your day, middle of your day, end of your day, day. If you want to see how I did the mani on my left hand, that was a live that I did. I'll leave that up in the cards or down in the box. We're going to do a little reverse stamping today. You probably saw the thumbnail. You know how the mani turns out, but I'm going to show you how I did it. Everything I'm using will be linked down below in the description box per usual. And I am going to dip my nails out first. And I figured while I'm doing that, I would talk to you guys and tell you a little story time about my recent surgery. I am going to show you all the products that I have on my nails right now. I've got the Mani Boss Pink Lace Builder and my UNT Peel Base. I'm going to be using Mani Boss Dip Liquids, the Revel Dip Powder, Maniology stamping plates. I'll show you all the colors for the stamping later. So we're going to dip out and I'm going to tell you a story time. So first of all, thank you so much. You guys are so sweet and so kind. I so appreciate all the well wishes and thoughts and texts and messages. You guys are absolutely the sweetest. As you can hear, I'm speaking completely fine. I am currently 4 days post-op from oral surgery. It was my first ever oral surgery. I have never had I've had plenty of surgeries, but oral surgery I've never had experience with. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't want to dive too deep into research, although I did research like crazy because that's my type A personality. But I didn't want to go too nuts because I didn't want to freak myself out, which I tend to do in those situations. So I'll tell you what I had going on, what they did, and how my recovery is going. So you guys may have heard in a live that I did probably a while ago, when I first scheduled my surgery, which was like 2 months ago. This thing was very long played out. But when I was 19, I am 40 currently. When I was 19 on a dare, I got my tongue pierced. And I had it in for almost 20 years. Until I started noticing that my bottom 2 front teeth were getting a little bit loose. And I'm like, this can't be good. This cannot be good. So I took my tongue ring out and I made an appointment with my dentist. And I'm like, something's happening. Now, mind you, I had not been to the dentist in a while. I don't like dentists. They freak me out. And I didn't have any issues. I had no pain, no nothing. So I'm like, everything's fine. We're all fine. It's fine. So I went and they're like, yeah, you're going to need to go see an oral surgeon. They're probably going to have to do extractions on your 2 bottom teeth. And I'm like, oh my God, this cannot be happening. Are you kidding me right now? And I was freaking out. I went home. I cried. It was just a nightmare. So they referred me to my oral surgeon, periodontist, whatever you want to call him. And he explained to me, this is what happened. This is what happened over 20 years of having this tongue ring in my mouth. By the way, I should have led with this. If you currently have a tongue ring, or if you are considering getting one, please reconsider and take the thing out, because this thing caused me nothing but problems. So what happened was, having worn this tongue ring for nearly 20 years, the constant rubbing of the bottom ball against the bone underneath my teeth in the front, my bottom front teeth, completely eroded away the bone. 0 bone left underneath those 2 teeth, nothing holding them in place. They're just chilling there, like waiting to fall out of my face. So, of course, the periodontist, who is amazing, by the way, giant shout outs to Dr. DeTure. If you are in South Florida and you are in need of an oral surgeon or periodontal work, I'll leave all his info down in the box. I literally love this man so much with my whole entire heart. Not only is he a phenomenal oral surgeon, his bedside manner is first class. He called me the night before surgery to make sure I was ready, make sure I had answers to questions if I had any. And then he was great during surgery, from what I can remember. I don't remember much of surgery, but I remember him being very kind. And then he called me the night that I had surgery to check in, see how I was feeling, make sure I wasn't in like an extreme amount of pain, which I wasn't. So he called the night before and the night of. And then 2 days later, I got a card in the mail from Dr. DeTure. saying, we hope you feel better, la la la. I'm like, this is literally the best bedside manner I have ever experienced with any surgeon ever. So highly recommend him, that office, the whole staff, just incredible. And no longer afraid of dentists, by the way. Totally it eased any fear or anxiety that I may have had. Anyway, so we wound up doing what they call LANAP surgery, which is laser gum surgery, on top of having 2 wisdom teeth extracted. When he did my initial exam and, found a gum issue, I guess, with the lack of bone in my face, he also noticed that I had my 2 wisdom teeth on top, which, by the way, I never even knew I had. No idea I had wisdom teeth. I thought they were all still in my skull and not in my mouth. So they were a little bit impacted. Not that they gave me any trouble, but he, recommended that I have them extracted to prevent any future issues. So of course, I'm like, whatever, I'm going to be out anyway. Might as well yank them while I'm here. So that was the game plan. 4-quadrant LANAP gum surgery and 2 extractions. It was a 4-hour surgery. So that is what I went and had done. Now I can tell you, the only pain that I experienced, which was maybe a 3 out of 10 at its worst, was at my wisdom teeth extraction sites. That's the only pain I have. I have 0 pain anywhere else. I can speak completely fine and did immediately after surgery, although I was very, very numb for hours after surgery. I had surgery at 8 a.m. I got home probably around 12:30, 1 o'clock, and I went right to sleep. I was exhausted. I passed out for 2 or 3 hours. Still woke up numb. I don't know how much Novocaine this guy gave me, but it was a whole heap of Novocaine. And once the numb wore off, it was just a little bit of soreness in the back of my mouth where the wisdom teeth were extracted. And that was it. Literally easiest surgery recovery ever. So here I am now 4 days post-op. I have 0 pain. I'm still taking antibiotics and doing all of that stuff, but that's it. Super easy. I have a follow-up. As you're hearing this, I mean, this is the future. I'm speaking from the past. So I have a follow-up a week after surgery, and then I have a few other follow-up appointments. But it seems that everything went very well. I'm on the mend, and hopefully this will solve the lack of bone problem, and I won't have to worry about it ever again. So moral of the very long-winded story is tongue rings suck, and I regret everything. Did it teach me something? I don't know. Maybe it taught me to go to the dentist more often, which I absolutely fully intend to do. I will not neglect my teeth ever again. And I did retire the tongue ring. I will never put it back in, and I replaced it with a nose ring. So all good. Yes, I got my nose pierced. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's because of the tongue ring. Maybe I was bonding with my teenage son who wanted earrings for his 17th birthday. Maybe it was a combination of the both. But that is my current situation. The tongue ring has been retired, replaced with a nose ring, and I am very well healing from an extensive oral surgery. So if you need wisdom teeth extracted too, it's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I am eating my weight in mashed potatoes and Jell-O and ice cream, living my best chubby girl life right now. So it's not as bad as everyone says it is. I've heard some horror stories about wisdom teeth extractions alone, and that's, I think, what freaked me out the most was having those pulled. Seriously, not that bad. You'll be fine. If you have questions, feel free to comment. If you've had experiences like this, feel free to comment. I would love to hear your stories or answer your questions about it. Not that I'm a pro. I know little to nothing about what I actually had done. I mean, I did a little bit of research, as mentioned, but I'm not a doctor. I'm not a dentist. I'm not a surgeon. I know nothing. But I'm happy to try to help if you have questions or concerns. I don't know why this stuff is kind of stigmatized. People are like, oh, you have bad teeth. You must not brush your teeth. So far from the truth. And it's not, I don't know why it should be a stigma. We can have an open conversation about it because these things happen. We all have teeth. We all have issues with them at some point, right? Right. Anyway, that's my little story time about my laser gum oral surgery and my recovery. I have no complaints. Very seamless procedure. So I'm going to finish clear encapsulating my nails. I'm going to get everything activated. I'm going to file and buff off camera, and when I come back, we're going to do a little reverse stamping. I know I said I was going to come back for stamping, but I keep getting this question about gritty or bubbly looking dip powder at the end because of clear. Scrub, yo, clear. Look at the difference. Just scrub it. Scrub it like it's your literal job. Make sure your base is set first. You don't want to scrub over wet base, so you will mush everything up. But once your base is set, scrub the literal crap out of it. It will make such a difference when you top coat your nails later. Okay, now for the fun part. I've already top coated 3 of my nails, and we're going to work on just these 2 accent nails. So I want one image. I want this one flower, and I'm going to show you how I grab just the flower. I'm going to start with my outline, which is going to be black. I love this black stamping polish from Uber Chic. Again, everything will be linked in my description box below. So I'm going to swipe over the black stamping polish, pick up the image, and you're going to see that I grabbed more than just the flower, which happens because there's more stuff on that stamp. So I'm going to take just some regular Scotch tape. Scotch tape. You don't have to use Scotch tape. You can use any kind of tape you have, or you can use a lint roller if you want. But because this was so detailed, I needed something super tiny to get in between those petals, and I'm just lifting off those excess images that I do not want on the nail. I only wanted this flower. That is all. You can pick up whatever you want. If you want the whole image and you want to color in the entire thing and make it a whole floral nail, by all means, live your best life. I just wanted the sunflower. That's all I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and get all those excess bits off, and I'm going to let this sit on the side for literally just a minute. I'm actually going to pick up another one off camera. I wanted 2 per nail, just my preference. You can do it any way you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this sit, and then I'm going to show you how to color it in. So for me and the way I wanted my sunflower to look, we're going to go in stages. I'm going to work from the inside out. I'm going to take some brown stamping polish, and I'm going to just fill in with a liner brush. It's a small liner brush. I'm going to fill in the center of my sunflower in the brown, and I'm going to let it sit to the side while I do the other one. You don't need to let this dry completely yet, but if you do let it dry, you have a less likely chance of the colors kind of running together, and it will look separated, which is the look I was going for. So I'm going to let it sit and dry just for a few minutes, again, while I do the other one. Then I'm going to move on to the next little layer, which is going to be the teeny tiny petals around the center. And I'm going to do that in orange the exact same way that I'm doing it here. I do clean my brush off in between colors. I am using acetone on a paper towel to clean off my brush. And I'm going to go into the orange, color in that little rim around the center in the orange, let that sit for a minute, and then we're going to do the yellow petals. Something to note, if this is a design you want to do, the reverse stamping, if you touch your outline with the tool that you're using, if you're using a dotting tool or a toothpick or whatever, if you touch the outline with the tool, you may pick up the outline. So I find it best to only let the polish touch your stamper. Try not to apply pressure because you don't want to lift up that image. Just the polish. Kind of float it over, if you will. Also, if you are a perfectionist and if you like doing this kind of thing, this is going to be great for you. However, there is very little room for error. If you get polish outside of the area you want to polish, good luck getting it off. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to have to start all over again. So you do want to be a little bit meticulous when you're doing a design like this. Again, for me, this is so cathartic and relaxing, but if this is not your jam, this is not your jam, and that's okay. If you want to hand paint flowers or use decals or stickers or whatever, go ahead and do that. I'll leave some videos down the box or up on the cards if you want to check those out. But for me, I love reverse stamping with my whole entire heart. Let me know down below if you have done reverse stamping or if it's something you feel like you want to try. And if this is not your jam, let me know what is. Let me know if you're a decal person or if you're a basic stamping person or a sticker person or a freehand person. If you are that talented, you're now my idol because I have zero artistic ability. And I find that this particular nail art technique is especially great for doing nail art on your dominant hand. If you're like me and you're useless with your left hand, nail art can be really challenging, and especially in the spring season or around holidays where you really want to get, specific with nail art. I just find this is so much easier than attempting to do freehand nail art on your dominant hand. Even something as simple as an ombre can be super challenging if you're weak with your non-dominant hand like I am. So reverse stamping is a great way to get the art that you want without having to use your non-dominant hand. I'm using my right hand to do nail art on my right hand. It blows my mind sometimes that you can actually do things like this and have it look so darn cute and pretty. I love it. And for those of you who do stamp, I'm going to go so far as to say, I don't know why they call this advanced stamping. I find this so much easier than regular stamping. Maybe it's me, I don't know. For me, it's easier, and I prefer it to regular stamping. And if it's okay with you guys, I would really like to do more reverse stamping on my channel. I really like it, and I want to do what I like. I don't know, validate me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and finish up filling in this last flower, and then I'm going to show you how I apply it to the nail. So I did let those sit and completely dry. As you can see, I did one already. I'm using a nail primer, a gel primer, because it is tacky and it will stick to the flowers. But if you're not a gel person, you don't have to use gel. You can use what they call a sticky base coat. I will leave one from Maniology linked down in the box for you guys. I'm sure you can find them on Amazon too. I'll see if I can leave you a few options, but I like using a gel primer. You do not have to cure this. I'm going to let it sit and dry down to its tacky finish for a couple of minutes. And then I'm going to take my stamper with my dried stamp and I'm just going to stamp it onto the nail, and literally 0 issues. It applied perfectly. And I find with regular stamping, this is generally my issue. My issue is the stamps don't transfer well onto my nail. Maybe it's more likely than not a me issue, but with the reverse stamping, I just find I never have a problem applying them to the nail. So there's that. How easy, how easy. So I'm sure you're wondering now how to go about top coating. I do not like dip top over stamps. I find it's too much of a hassle, so I'm a gel top coat person. But if you don't do the gel, which I understand there are gel allergies, preferences, what have you, if you don't want to do gel, do regular nail polish top coat. There's a smudge-free top coat on Maniology that you can grab, but I find that because you let your stamps dry down completely, I don't really need a smudge-free. So use a regular nail polish top coat. 2 coats will be perfect. I'm going to go in with my gel base coat, and then I'm going to cure that for 30. Then I'm going to go in with a gel top, cure it for 60, and then I'm done. So here's the finished look. I could not love this more. These sunflowers are just darling. I love them so much. I hope you guys found this somewhat helpful, be it the story time or the reverse stamping. Comment down below and let me know. I'm looking forward to reading all these comments. I know I can't be the only one who has had to go through what I went through. So don't be shy. Let me know. I'm finishing up per usual with my Candi Skin Care cuticle oil. It is now May, which means proceeds for the hashtag Hot Mess Marla scent from Candi Skin Care is going to be donated to the Mental Health Foundation, which is an amazing organization. You can order them at candiskincare.com. I will leave it linked down in the box. You can use my discount code too if you want. It's not affiliate, just savings. Code is Marla. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Love you. Bye.